I'm Kent Weens, owner of Weens Lawn Care in Parker, Colorado, here with a tip for you for your lawn on a disease called necrotic ring spot. Now, this disease is a disease in the soil, and I'm not sure really what causes it other than spores in the air, which can actually lie dormant for 30 years and then become active and infect your lawn with this disease. Um, One of the things that contributes to diseases is high nitrogen rate fertilizers, so it's best to keep the nitrogen rates lower when you fertilize. Um, the symptoms of this disease, as you can see in the picture, is a circular dead spot with one tuft of live grass in the center, thus the name necrotic ring spot. Um, the best thing to do, there are several different options that you can that are available. Um, One method would be to, because it's a disease in the soil, to remove the diseased soil and bring in new soil. But in order to do that, you would have to remove 18 inches of the diseased soil. And if any of the diseased soil touches the good soil, you wasted your time. So that's not a good option. And secondly, you can use fungicides, but they are not very effective for this disease. The one that worked the best was called Rubican, and it was very expensive, and they don't make it anymore. And at best, all they will do is keep the scars from spreading, and it's a very slow process over a period of years. So that's not a good solution to the problem. So the best thing to do, aeration seems to help somewhat because it is a disease in the soil. Some of these diseases can be spread by your mower, especially if you use a service, and this is one of them. Dollar spot, your mower can spread it just more or less and expand it. If it's already started and it's a smaller spot, your mower will make it a bigger spot basically. But the necrotic ring spot, I've heard, can be transported on the wheels and the blades of a mower from one lawn to the other. But the only way to remedy that is for the mowing service to clean the tires and the blades of their mower with bleach after every lawn. And good luck trying to get them to do that because time is money, and they need to get those lawns mowed and on to the next one as quickly as possible in order to make any money. So the best solution for a necrotic ring spot is basically just to cover it over with a different type of grass that's not affected by it, and that would be perennial ryegrass. The Kentucky bluegrass, which most lawns are. Oh, and the other option would be to dig up the affected sod or the grass, tear it up and replace it with sod, which most sod is made up of Kentucky bluegrass, and that would last about a year, and then you'd be right back to square one. So that's not a good option. But like I said, the Kentucky bluegrass is affected by it. The perennial rye is not, so it's best just to seed it heavily, especially the affected areas. And but you need to seed the whole section of lawn so that it's uniform. The perennial rye blends in well with the Kentucky bluegrass, and like I say, you need to seed the whole entire section, and especially the rings very heavily with the perennial rye, so that you cover it over. And so that's the best solution for the disease called necrotic ring spot. And now I would like to give you a report that I wrote. It's called 10 Things You Must Know to Avoid Choosing the Wrong Lawn and Tree Service. First, are they a legal business? Do they have a registered trade name with the state in which you reside? It is law in the state of Colorado. Every business must have a registered trade name with the state. This is public information, And you can go to the state's website and do a search on their DBA or doing business as name and see. If they don't, you probably don't want to do business with them. Next, how long have they been in business? Just because they haven't been in business very long doesn't necessarily mean they're not a legitimate business. If they have years of experience working for other reputable companies. Maybe they just recently made the move to start their own business. But if they just started yesterday and don't have previous experience in the industry, you probably want to stay away. Next, are they registered with the Better Business Bureau? Just because they are not registered with the BBB doesn't necessarily mean they're not a legitimate business. It is very expensive to register with them, and maybe they just can't afford it yet. But you can do a search on their business on the BBB website to see if there are any complaints there against them. I always do a check with the BBB when considering using a new business that I'm not familiar with. Next, are they licensed? You must be licensed with the Colorado Department of Agriculture to legally apply pesticides for hire in the state of Colorado. And a pesticide is any chemical used to rid you of a pest. In other words, a herbicide is a weed killer, an insecticide is an insect killer, a fungicide is a disease killer. Next, do they carry insurance? Any business must carry a minimum of $1 million of liability insurance in the state of Colorado. This is in case they do major damage on your property or there is injury or death caused by them. Next, how much experience/knowledge do they have? Do they know enough about lawn and tree care to accurately diagnose and make recommendations for the problems with your lawn and trees? You don't want to be paying them all kinds of money to do the applications, and your lawn just continues to look worse and worse because they're not addressing the problems on your property. All they know how to do is the applications, and that's it. Next, do they guarantee their work? Some things you can't guarantee, such as seeding, because good results depend on the client doing their part by following watering instructions, and we have no control over that. But we can guarantee that the job will be done right the first time and to your satisfaction. Next, why are their prices so much lower on some services such as aeration? Well, first you must be sure that you're comparing apples to apples. Do they carry liability insurance? If they do damage on your property, will they fix it or replace it at no cost to you? If you pay $25 for your aeration and they do $250 of damage to your sprinkler system and won't fix it or replace it, you haven't saved much, have you? And if necessary, get it in writing before they do the job. Next, do they keep their word? When they say they will be there on a certain day, do they show up? If not, do they give you a call to explain why not? Do they say they will do something and then when it comes down to it, they won't? Do they do they quote one price, then bill you for more? How is their integrity? Are they a man of their word? Do they return your calls? How soon? And last, do they use safe products? Are they concerned about the health and safety of you, your children, your pets, the environment, the public, your property? Do they list on the invoice they leave with you products used, any precautions, special instructions, EPA registration numbers in case of emergency, their contact information, your contact information? They should because it's the law. Thank you.